I got you right here. Okay, you admit that at least one of the authors says that the disciples went back to Galilee to continue their previous occupations.
Sure, and they're confronted by Jesus there.
So that was the first time he appeared to them, or was it Jerusalem?
Heavens, I don't know whether it's the first time or the second time.
See, one book says he appeared on Easter in Jerusalem.
But you see, these are complementary. That is to say, there's no reason why the risen Jesus couldn't have turned up in Cleveland if he'd wanted to. I mean, he can turn up in Galilee as well as in Jerusalem.
But if he,
I don't know in what order he turned up in the two places.
Well, the Gospels try to tell us, and one says that he appeared on Easter, the day of the resurrection, in Jerusalem.
Fine, no problem.
Okay, but then why would they go back to Galilee and start fishing again?
I have no idea.
The reason you have no idea is because you are not able to properly read the Gospels because you have this fixed view.
To the contrary, my view is that you've got at least 11 apostles, plus a whole slew of other disciples. And it isn't required in the least to say that all of them were there in Jerusalem at one point. Jesus saw them all, and therefore there was no reason for any of them to go off to Galilee. The fact is, some went to Galilee, some stayed there. Jesus appeared to both of them, and maybe to many others who were in different places. You see, you're reading this, pardon my saying so, in a wooden fundamentalist manner. I'm trying to take these accounts as one would take several accounts of any event, as given by a number of witnesses. And so, of course, they're going to be describing different groups under different circumstances. They are complementary. They are not contradictory, and none of them is complete.
On the post-crucifixion appearances as they're recorded, you make a dichotomy, you make a differentiation between the Jerusalem appearances, in other words, where Jesus is said to have appeared in Jerusalem to his disciples, and that in Galilee. And you actually said, and I want you to tell me why you said, this author, referring to Luke, and actually reworked a key section of his received source material in order to delete any hint of a Galilean appearance, and later specified that the risen Jesus ordered the apostles not to leave Jerusalem till after his ascension. Now,
what don't you find in the Bible?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What you're saying...
I've never come across a passage that said, and now I reworked the material in the following fashion.
Okay, let me give you the preposition, the assumption behind that.
Yes.
I'm assuming, with most scholars, that Mark came first. Okay? So if Mark came first, and if Luke had a copy of Mark, and if we know that Luke borrowed or used Mark as a source, so you take, and you have to do this side by side, you take what Mark says about that event, and you take what Luke says about that event. And if Mark says, go to Galilee, and you will see me, and Luke says, you will see me as I told you when I was in Galilee,